No one at Camp Rainier paid much attention to the quiet girl in the corner of the armory. She wore faded fatigues, kept her hair tied in a simple knot, and spent most of her time cleaning rifles that didn't even belong to her. To the others, she was just a helper, someone brought in to assist with maintenance. Nothing special, but that changed the moment a Navy SEAL named Chief Mason Walker walked past her workbench, and saw the number etched faintly into the stock of the rifle she was polishing. 2,940 meters. His boots stopped, his breath caught, because no one, not even in his elite world, ever reached a confirmed shot at that distance. Unless they were a legend. And she didn't look like a legend. Her name was Ayla Grant, and she had learned early in life that the world rarely took time to look deeper. She grew up on the outskirts of Montana, raised by a father who taught her that silence wasn't weakness, it was focus. She hunted long before she spoke full sentences, tracked elk by the subtle bend of leaves, and understood wind like it was a language only she could hear. But her father died when she was 16, and with no college funds or clear path, she enlisted in the military. She never boasted, never bragged, her shooting scores were always perfect, yet she quietly stepped aside when others celebrated. Just lucky, she always said. No one believed her, no one really cared to, either. After an injury forced her off the sniper course, she was reassigned to light duty, mostly cleaning and servicing weapons. It didn't bother her, working with rifles felt like home. But every day, she felt something inside her shrinking. Like the world had decided she was done before she even started. Chief Walker had been deployed 11 times. He had seen extraordinary shooters, men and women who could hit targets that normal humans couldn't even see. But he had never seen 2,940 meters. He lifted the rifle gently. "Where'd you get this number?" he asked. Ayla didn't look up. "Just something personal. You carve personal things into M2010s. She hesitated. "It's not regulation. I know. I'll sand it off later if." "No," Walker said, his eyes narrowing. "I want to know what it means." Ayla finally met his gaze. It was a shot. One shot. He waited. She sighed. "During a training exercise in the mountains 2 years ago, an instructor bet me I couldn't hit the ridge target. I got lucky with the wind." Walker stared at her like she had just told him she hit the moon. "Lucky," he repeated. "At 2,940 meters. Ayla shrugged, uncomfortable. "Anyone could have done it." "No," he said, "not anyone, not even most of us." The next morning, Walker went straight to the commanding officer, requesting Ayla by name. "Chief," the CO said, "she's injured. She's not even active in field roles." "Sir," Walker replied, "I don't need her to run. I just need her to see." He wasn't asking, he was insisting. The CO raised an eyebrow. "You're forming an Overwatch team for Operation Black Summit. I want Ayla Grant for long-range support." The CO laughed. "Her? Half the base doesn't even know her voice. Then maybe it's time they hear it." When Walker told her, Ayla shook her head. "I'm not qualified. I'm not even cleared medically." "You're cleared enough to save lives," Walker said. "I've seen the number. If you can do that once, you can do it again." Her hands trembled, hands that had never once shaken behind a trigger. "What if I fail?" she whispered. Walker's voice softened. "Then we fail together. But I don't think you will." Something in his certainty broke through the walls she'd kept up for years. She nodded, and that changed everything. The mission took them into the jagged cliffs of an unnamed mountain range, where an enemy stronghold hid deep within the rock. The SEAL team needed to breach, but scouts had spotted lookouts armed with high-precision rifles. A single exposed movement could get the whole team killed. Ayla lay on her stomach in the freezing wind, snow stinging her face. She steadied her scope. At this altitude, the air made bullets behave like stubborn animals. But she could feel the mountain, feel the wind like breath on her cheek, hear the silence like a whisper of direction. Walker crouched beside her. "You good?" She inhaled. Slow. Deep. "Yes." Targets were barely dots drifting in white haze. At 2,300 meters, most snipers would refuse the shot. At 2,700 meters, only a handful on Earth would attempt it. This one was 2,940 meters. She exhaled, squeezed. The rifle cracked, but gently, like a snowflake snapping. A second later, the lookout dropped silently into the snow. "Holy," one SEAL whispered over comms. "Did she?" Walker smiled. "Told you." Ayla adjusted, fired again. The second lookout fell. The path was clear. The SEALs moved. Minutes later, the stronghold was breached. Hostages were rescued. The team returned alive, because before they ever took that first step forward, Ayla had made the mountain safe for them. When they got back to base, something unexpected happened. People, soldiers who'd barely noticed she existed, lined up outside the armory. They clapped as she passed. Not out of pity, not out of surprise, but out of respect. Walker placed a hand on her shoulder. "That number," he said softly, "don't sand it off." "I won't." "Good, because from now on, the world will know exactly who hit that shot." She looked around, at the faces, at the recognition, at the belief she had never allowed herself to feel. And for the first time since her father died, Ayla Grant felt something lift inside her. Purpose. The message was simple but powerful. Sometimes the world mistakes quiet for weakness. But greatness makes no noise until the moment it's needed most.